Alright guys, welcome to our channel. My name is Ulysses.
Francisco.
And this is MDJs. Today we are going to be reviewing our Pioneer DDJ 200. What's in the box? So what you get in the box is obviously the controller. We do have the USB cable, as well as an audio splitter. We'll go into more detail about that in a little bit. We also do have the manuals itself. We do have some quick start guides for WeDJ, Rekordbox, DJ, and EDJ. To start off, we have to read obviously through the quick manuals as well as the manuals. I actually went online for the DDJ 200. They have better actual manuals than the ones that they actually sent. So I really would suggest you guys going online, downloading the PDF and going through that way you guys really get to know what this controller is able to do. That's pretty much it. Let's get started. Let's get into the review.
Alright guys, so this is the controller itself. We're going to talk about a little bit about the build quality itself. It's all pretty much plastic, but it's not too thin of a plastic. It's not too cheap of plastic. I think it has a pretty good, for the price point and for the build quality itself, and the fact that it's so compact and so versatile for such a small thing to be able to play on so many different applications, whether it be iPad, whether it be laptop, which we'll get into, all the different actual apps that it allows you to use it on. It's all pretty plastic. It's got really small dog wheels, which is fine for either your beginner setup, something to practice at home, something to set up, even just to set up cue points on if you're a Rekordbox user from your laptop, something to kind of play with, something to do house parties. I mean, realistically, there's a lot that you can do with this. Everything on here is a standard high, mids, lows, and then a control effects knob, which is low pass filter, high pass filter, and then your faders, crossfader, and we'll talk about all the buttons here in just a moment. We'll give you guys an overhead view. Alright guys, so this is the Pioneer DDJ 200. It is a great little mixer. We're going to kind of go over some of the functions of it. It does have cue, play. It does have 8 performance pads. The pads are dependent on what software you're using. I believe Rekordbox uses them all as hot cues, so you can have up to 8 hot cues. WeDJ, I believe, does beat loops, depending on that. So we'll get more into that once we show you guys the apps. Shift knob to control the tempo range, and also shift to adjust the tempo range, either plus or minus. It does have the same size, I believe, as the SP3. Nice little jog wheel. It isn't mirrored, unlike some controllers. It is copied on both left and right. Center being the mixer, you have your highs, your mids, your lows, and then your filter knob, which is your low pass and high pass filter. These knobs are a decent size. They are a little close together between the highs and the lows, I believe, and there's not really much separation between the lows and the actual filter knob, which I would like. But it is a good enough spacing for somebody beginning, because you have to be really sensitive to what you're doing when you're first practicing and trying to kind of get used to everything. You do have your up faders, and then as well as your crossfader. It does have a transition effects button, which doesn't work on every program. I believe Rekordbox doesn't take it, and then WeDJ does accept it. So press it and it'll essentially just do a nice little transition with you either using the low pass or high pass filter when you go to turn the crossfader over to the next channel. And then channel 2, the right side, is the same thing as the left side. Again, it isn't mirrored, but it is copied, like Pioneer does a lot of their stuff, to just kind of keep that CDJ type feel that everyone's used to seeing everywhere else.
One of the things that I would like this to have, again, this is personal, is if it would have a gain knob. I know there are some songs that are made either a little bit softer or lower depending on how it is produced. I wish it had a gain knob, and that's one of the things that really throws me off. For me, DJing, I personally know that the first knob is the gain knob, and it's not. It's a high pass, so that really throws me off. Obviously, here it has the master for the headphones, so you can either hear the master, what's going on, or take it off, and then obviously you're hearing one of the cues. We do have cue 1 and 2, so just keep that in mind. And then these jog wheels work depending obviously per software. So this, you obviously can scratch, and then this would be just a little toggle from left and right on the outskirts as well.
One thing I didn't like is for the controller itself. On this one, there isn't anything other than a USB port. There is no headphone. There is no master audio anywhere on the sides. I know the SP has a headphone hot cue, I believe, on one of the sides. This has nothing on either side. It strictly has the USB, which isn't a big deal because it does come from the audio depending on what you're playing, either the laptop or the iPad. But I do wish it had some sort of audio out. Again, that's probably a reason why they made it that way, to make it a little bit easier. It does run off of Bluetooth if you're doing it to a device, but it doesn't have its own gain knob, and it doesn't have an actual outsource from this device itself. This just basically is a touch version of what you're seeing on your screen, but you're still getting everything from that device, whether it be your iPad or whether it be from your laptop. That's where you'll get your audio. So you'll see this would just be a touch version of what you're seeing on the screen.
So included in the DDJ, as we discussed earlier, it does come with a USB cable. This you could connect, as you can see back here, as Francisco stated earlier, back here. And then on this side, you can either connect it to a brick,
which it doesn't come with.
It does not come with, so that's one of the things that you just need to grab as an accessory, and you would plug this into the wall. If not, you may also plug it in to
power brick. Any sort of power brick, any sort of charger. Once you plug it in, you got lights going that's on, and everything else will turn on. So it doesn't come with any source of power, but if you're plugging in it directly to a laptop, you can completely ignore this and completely ignore the brick, because you can just use this like any standard controller with USB to the laptop.
One of the things to know is that your portable battery has a 500 milliamp minimum, as well as it not having a power saving function. If it does have that, it will not work. It will work until it would go into the power saving function, and then it would just turn off. So just keep that in mind.
So on the other cable that it comes with is the splitter, the headphone splitter, as you see here. So this would go directly into the device, whether it be the laptop or whether it be the iPad, and then it would split, which that's with the Q buttons that we were talking about a little bit before. So this white one, as you can see, has the headphone jack on there. I'm not sure how well that's going to come on video. So the headphone itself is for the headphones that you're queuing, and then this one would be the main audio outsource to either your speakers, depending on what speaker setup you're going to go with. Again, that's another thing that it does not come with. You are going to need some headphones. I just have some basic Pioneer headphones we're going to use for video, and then you would need some sort of speaker. We're just going to use a little JBL, just a little speaker to show you guys, make it a little bit more realistic on a basic setup or a beginner setup. So you would just plug in, again, doesn't come with this cable, so you would need a cable like this to plug in the 3.5 millimeter jack into the splitter and then into your speaker of choice. Or if you're going into a mixer, PA board, you would go from the 3.5 headphone millimeter jack to RCAs to plug into a larger system or a different type of speaker, depending on what application you'll be using. And then plug in your headphones to here, and then we will plug this into the device, and I'll show you guys what that'll sound like here in just a second.
Alright guys, so we made a little setup. We do have our external battery power, we do have our software, headphones, and speaker, and obviously our controller. So we are going to go into the software. We're using DJ. So we're going to go to settings. Let me get set up that way you guys can see it. We're going to go to MIDI devices, Bluetooth MIDI. Make sure that we allow to use Bluetooth. Okay, make sure we're using split ends, and then now it's connecting. As you guys can see, we had a little light show going on. It is straight green, so that lets us know that it is connected. We are going to go back into our... Oh, as you can see, we got actually audio from our...
So this is going to be the headphones.
And then we are going to stop that. And then we're going to go with what we can hear. As you guys can see, it's playing off our left-hand side. We will sync. And then right-hand side. Right-hand side. And it automatically cues on the left-hand side, you guys can hear. As you guys can see, it connects really quick. That was my first time actually connecting to the software. I do have a full version of this software, but I just wanted to use it on my phone so you guys are able to see how it's really easy to set up. Took me, how much, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. So it's really, really quick to set up.
So no, another thing, if you do have any of the newer iPhones, you will need the adapter piece to plug in the headphone jack because it is a regular 3.5mm headphone jack. So
yeah. Alright guys, so now we are going to go into the WeDJ app. Here you go. It is already connected. Okay, cool. That's what I thought. We are going to go into connect the DDJ. And now it is connected, as you guys can see. We're going to go back into our session. As you guys can see, same thing. Works really quick. Again, all I had to do was go into the settings, click on DDJ 200, and it connected automatically. Alright guys, so now we are going to go into Rekordbox. We're just going to glance over it really quick, that way you guys can get a little feel for that as well.
Alright guys, so what we're going to talk about now is Rekordbox. You will use just the regular USB instead of using either the power brick or a battery pack, which you don't need anymore because you'll be using the laptop. You'll just plug in the USB, and then you will plug in the splitter, which again is connected to my headphones and that little JBL Bluetooth speaker right there. Alright, so once you've connected everything, you'll see on the laptop, on Rekordbox itself, what it shows you, it has different tutorials for you to get to use this controller, which is a great for those of you beginning, so you will need Rekordbox for it. And then it'll do the same thing to play. You can get the audio coming from your laptop, so you can turn it up and down as loud as you want to, and then of course you can always go up and down on your speaker or whatever sound you're going out of as the input. You can make sure to click split Q so that it splits the headphone Q. If not, it will play through here. So now we have the crossfaders down, and you can hear just in the headphones what you will be hearing, and then out the main. So you will get to play a little bit in Rekordbox, a little bit more in depth. You can adjust a lot more. Again, these do become all performance pads, so all hotkeys. If you were to set up all your 8 hotkey points, or if you wanted to, either be your intro, whether it be your loop, your chorus, your acapella, your instrumental, whatever you wanted to go on playing within Rekordbox itself, and adjusting the audio and playing with the controller on using all 8 of the performance pads. Same thing with your hotkeys, either be your cue for your headphones for the left or the right channel, channel 1, channel 2, and then master if you just wanted to hear both at the same time. You can hear both of them through the headphones at the same time, as long as this is in the middle. This transition effects does not work on Rekordbox, unfortunately, so it won't do anything. You can't even get the light to come on. So this is totally irrelevant to Rekordbox, but it does work with the WeDJ app. So if that's something you want to mess with, that would be under the WeDJ app, not so much on Rekordbox. It is a cool little feature, but not a big deal that it's not on Rekordbox. You can still use the control effects knobs if you wanted to.
Alright guys, so that was our review for our Pioneer DDJ 200. It is a great little starter mix to begin with, especially since we're now during the holidays. It would be a great little gift to even just a teen that's starting to learn, or even someone who's going to it as a hobby. Would be a great place to learn and start, especially with the very basic functionality that it has, highs, lows. Again, like you said, we do have the faders, cues, small little things that you can slowly start getting into the DJ world. Other than that, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know if you guys want us to go into detail with those programs that it is able to go into. My name is Ulysses,
Francisco,
and we are Meadows DJs. Thank you guys so much. See you guys in the next one.